Swoop to pin is one of the last skills that you'll learn on your FS1 journey. This is where your coach will exit the aircraft first and then you will follow them. Your aim is to safely close the gap between you and to dock on with your coach, ideally before 8,000 feet. So the way that we're going to do that is that we're going to start inside the plane with the coach on the outside. They will go, you will count 1,000, 2,000 and then exit the plane after them. Once you've exited, you use the swoop position to get down to them, stopping at a place that is above and in front of your coach. Once you're there, you can use your fast fall and your forwards movement that you've already practiced to close that distance. So how does this work? First part is the exit. The exit, we need to dive towards the tail, which hopefully you've tried by yourself before. The key here is to make sure that the wind hits you on the front of your torso and that your head is lower than your feet as you go. How can we do that? Well, a couple of tips to help you. One thing is to imagine that there's a wall here along the bottom of the door. As you exit, you need to make sure that you hop over that wall, kind of like you're diving into a swimming pool. The other thing to think about is that your feet need to kick the top bar up here. So as we go through the door, I'm hopping over the wall and kicking my feet up to the top. What does the swoop position look like then? The swoop position is very similar to your tracking position. We need to have our legs out straight behind us and we sweep our arms back. Our body tends to follow our head, so we want to be looking at where we're going, but at the same time we need to make sure we're not looking up too much because then we're likely to end up horizontal, and also that we don't look down too much because we'll do a forward roll. So tuck your chin in, look between your eyebrows at your coach where you're going. So that's our swoop position. If we ended up having a bit of a wobble in that position, that's okay. We can extend our arms out a little bit to feel a bit more comfortable. And if we end up losing that position, to get back into it, we very simply sweep our arms back first and then push our legs out to get back into that dive. Where do we stop the dive? Well, we want to be somewhere that's probably about 50 feet in front of our coach and about the same up from them. It's really important that we don't aim to finish at our coach because that's where things could get dangerous. So with your coach here and you approaching, you want to stop above and in front of them. At this point, we can use our fast fall and our forwards movement to enable us to come down safely and pick up a dock. What happens if you don't make it by 8,000 feet? Well, we'll probably have to repeat the jump, but we still want to keep on trying to get together on this particular jump. So keep trying to approach your coach until your agreed break-off height. What happens if you miss your coach entirely? Well, we really don't want you to end up above the coach because you'll fall on top of them, or below the coach because they'll fall on top of you. So this column of air around your coach is really a no-go area. If you end up in one of those, again, we will have to repeat the jump, and we just want you to use the skills that you've already got to get yourself out into a safe space and keep on working back to your coach until the agreed break-off height. You do still need to check your altimeter throughout your swoop to pin as well, which can be tricky when your arms are behind you. We want you to check your altimeter if you feel that the dive is going on for a little bit too long. What does too long mean? Maybe if you've been diving for around 15 to 20 seconds after your exit, that's a good time for you to stop, check your altimeter and go back into your dive. The lower we're getting, the more frequently we should stop and check that altitude again.